Good morning. Okay, as I promised yesterday, we will talk and have this conversation in English for the people who are English-speaking persons about a series of conversations that I like to have about the Orishas. I will be a little bit selfish in this case, and I start with my Aligbatori, Obatala, the king of the white robes. But these conversations are not the normal ones that we do over the forums or sometimes even privately. I wanted it to open their minds of the people who are following me or exchange conversations with me in reference to the Orishas, to trying to explain that we shouldn't humanize the Orishas. Humans, we tend to do that just as a focal point, as something that we can relate to. So we have to imagine, in this case, Obatala as a Yaguna, like a fierce warrior, Orishanla, an older woman, or different stages of Obatala who he manifests as old or younger, strong or weak. But Irumoles don't have human form. Is it true? And it is true that in some cases Irumoles came to earth and embodied a human body. Just like in the Christian tradition, Jesus came to earth and carried a human body. But Irumoles exist from the beginning of creation, and they were created to develop different functions at the beginning of times to help in the creation to Olodumare. Excuse me, we take a little bit of Cuban coffee to keep going. And in that beginning, Obatala became the first white light in the obscurity of space. And the Bible refers that God made light out of obscurity. Well, that first light is exactly Obatala. But Obatala is not just a cold white light, but one of the first elements that existed for later on create our planet and originate life. Obatala also is not the stones and the sopera. None of the Orishas are only iconos or icons that embodies the spirituality of the Orishas. And in reality, that spirituality not necessarily lives inside of the sopera, but in the front of the sopera, what is called the Alayo. And it's in there where truly the spirituality of the Orisha is, when the stones represented the physical embodiment of that spirituality. But the Orishas are a creation that became part of the nature that we know in our plane and planet. And Obatala, his function, his primary function is coolness. At the beginning of time, when this planet was originally began to be created by Ogun, Obatala came in the shape of crystals attached to meteorites. And inside of those crystals were drops of water. And when he hit the surface of a boiling planet, those crystals vaporized, and that coolness of that water came down to begin to form oceans. So, by this concept, we see that not just Yimaya, Olokun, or Oshun are the owners of water, but Obatala is the one that brings that originally. That's why when we give coconut to an Orisha, we begin, in every ceremony that we do, we begin with water, saying, Omi tuto, fresh water. That symbolize the coolness of Obatala. So the reading that we can be doing with the shells, or the asking that we can be doing with the coconuts, would be cool, fresh, and truthful. Obatala is also the one who is the senior in the pantheon of the Yoruba religion. And he is the one who was entrusted to impart the law, impose the authority, and create the peace among the other Orishas. His number is the number 8, E-G-O-B. And what it means, E-G-O-B. E-G means cutting, and Obe means knife. Something that comes cutting, something that comes dividing, something that comes partying. And the knife belongs to Obatala, who he ordered it to Ogun to create it in the Ogunda Meji 3:3. When we receive the knife, we put that knife at the feet of Obatala, because he's the true owner of the knife. But my conversation doesn't go about the attributes, the tools, or the things that we put in the sopera, around the sopera, to service, honor, or please our Orishas. My intention is for you people in general to see the Orishas in their true form, in nature. In the morning when we wake up and we see those little drops in leaves, trees, grass, that is also Obatala. When we see the Arctic and the Antarctic with that white spread of ice, that is also Obatala. When we see the snow and the peak of a mountain, that is also Obatala. When we see the shade of a tree that produces coolness, that is also Obatala. So even so that we have the soperas and we worship them, We are surrounded by the orishas or the irumoles, the divine creatures from heaven at all times and everywhere. They manifest in the air that we breathe, and the wind, and the fire, and the water, and the earth, and the vegetation, and all things that surround us. Nature is us, and we are nature. That is the reason that we should serve correctly the orishas, and not just only in home when we give them an offering, but respecting nature, respecting the rivers, respecting the ocean, respecting the forests, the mountains, keeping our planet clean, because our planet is also an orisha, Aije, and we all live in the service and surface. And one day, all of us, we will go underground. And that's heaven, where the Eguns belong, in the underworld. And Obatala is the one who formed our heads to give the space for our Ori, who went to heaven asking for a destiny to have a place to reside. Obatala created the head. Oshanla created the cavity of the chest. Obatala is responsible for the fetus. The fetus floats in water, and that water belonged to Yimaya. And all of us, before we born, are like little fishes floating in water. And that water is inside of the uterus that belongs to Oshun, the owner of the calabash. So everything that we are and everything that surrounds us is Orisha. Obatala in his song said, I brought you to this world. I formed you. And when you die, I'm the first one waiting for you to receive you. But still, all of you broke my heart. Obatala is an Orisha of suffering, of sacrifice, of pain, but also of endurance and hope to be able to grow. I hope that this little conversation helps you to think outside of the box. And don't think that just the Orishas are in Esopera. We are Orisha. Orisha are in us. Each one of us are a priest or priestess of an Orisha. We represent them in this world. Let's represent them correctly. Let's be truly good santeros, good espiritistas, good babalaos, good paleros. Let this religion flourish, grow, expand. But let's study. Let's have knowledge, because knowledge is power. May God bless all of you.